Hey, my name is PolishLynx, welcome to Everlasting Summer again. It's over 90 episodes, I think. Well, it will be, and not all are rendered yet. Alright, so, do we keep going or go back? As you probably know, we went back before and we know how it ended. It ended nicely. Actually, with Yulia. Well, there were other endings, but I wanted Yulia, so we ended up with Yulia. That's what I mean. So this time we're gonna go with keep going. Damn, that's Sovyonok. There is no camp, no pioners. And it really doesn't matter why I arrived here. My priority is to get out, quickly. I'll go forward. I shrugged my shoulders, trying to express a minimum of interest. Yulia stared hard at me for some time, but then took a couple of steps forward, as if inviting me to follow her. Well, are you going? It seemed like for the first time today we got a bit closer to the city, like 100 meters or so. I was almost sure that I would reach it, then I heard sounds of a car horn from behind. A bus, any cars, approached us fast, cutting through the night darkness with its lights. I stepped to the roadside. Yulia wasn't around. How does she manage to appear and disappear so unnoticeably? The bus slowly stopped next to me. The door opened and Olga Dmitrievna stepped out. Semyon, why didn't you come back? I asked you to. I could ask you the same thing. You said the disaster had happened, and now you... Okay. She suddenly softened. Get on the bus. What? And what about the city? That's why we're going there, to see it for ourselves. I hesitated. On one hand, it would be faster to go by bus. This road should lead to the city. On the other hand, the actions of the camp leaders seemed strange. We're going in the same direction for the time being anyway. Okay. But Yulia! I agreed and got onto the bus. But Yulia! The cars went in the direction of the mysterious city, bouncing over the bumps. You fucking idiot. Well, actually that was expected. But I can't stand it now. It was too slow in my opinion. I was so tired that my eyes started to close. I should have gone this road first. And the other road second. Now I can't stand it. Yulia was left behind. It was too slow in my opinion. I was so tired that my eyes started to close. And what about Yulia? Did I just leave her alone there? It looked like all the pioneers who had been in Sovyonok had got onto the bus. Maybe she wanted to say something to me. However, regardless of my struggle with Morphos, my loud snoring sounded from the back seat within a couple of minutes. But Yulia... I can't stand that. Everything is over now. Or not. I wanted to get out so badly yet not fall asleep. Is exhaustion the reason? Probably not. It was like I got a dose of sedative. People can't lose consciousness just like that, and I never suffered from narcolepsy. My thoughts flowed fast and calm, like a white river. Nothing interfered with their flight, because I was sleeping. At the same time, it felt like I was conscious. I'm about to open my eyes and... An old, chipped ceiling was looking down at me, a big crack divided in two parts lengthwise, as if threatening to drop the upper floors on me. The computer fan sounded peaceful but strained, thousands of specks of dust danced beautifully in the air. The wind wailed outside the window, licking the frost-covered glass and then flying away, twirling the snowflakes in its wake. The bright winter, cold moon looked down at my world, winking merrily. There was a ringing in my heavy head and I felt dizzy. A nasty aftertaste filled my mouth. as if I had eaten the contents of an ashtray and washed them down with a bottle of vodka. The realization didn't come at once. I was intending to go somewhere yesterday and I had a strange dream about summer, a camp, pioneers and their camp leader, about a strange cat girl and a distant city. I always forget the end of my dreams. Did I get to the city or not? Wait a minute. Was that really a dream? I spent really a week in that camp. However, the cloud didn't agree with me. According to it, only about 12 hours had passed. I sat up on the bed and tried to remember. My feelings and emotions were really vivid, but the events of that dream were covered in fog. I remembered girls, were tears and smiles, remembered joy and sadness that we experienced together, but their faces and figures were concealed by shadow. And there was a mine of some sort, a bomb shelter and then an island and a bad departure. And those damn graspers which disturbed my sleep. And Slavia, and Lena, and Alisa, Uliana, and Masha, and Yulia. But there was something else, something beyond the dream, my life after, seemingly a new level of existence. Yeah, I had woken up many times, met those girls while being awake in this world, and then everything started all over again. This huge load of information just couldn't settle in my head. My memory was overflowing. I was forgetting something with every second, and I couldn't understand what was real and what was not. All the events of the camp blended into one fantastic picture, a collage made from hundreds of works by hundreds of artists with different styles. Scraps of feelings, shadows of emotions, parts of memories. My life was ripped apart and clumsily sewn back together, and the result was something like that disfigured doll I had found in the old camp together with Uliana. What doll? Did we find some kind of doll? I don't remember. Well, wait, or was it Yugoslavia? What doll? Have we found a doll with anyone? Whatever. That night's search for Shriek flew before my eyes with all its details, but I couldn't remember the face of a girl who was with me that time. The dream was getting more foggy with every moment. Will it be forgotten soon? I can't let it happen. I must remember. Even without details, even without faces, maybe even without names. I'm sure it is not just a dream. It's something bigger, something very important to me. A voice started ringing in my head, and it was not mine. It was someone else's. It was quiet and distant at first, but it was growing louder with every moment, and soon I almost could make out the words. But it was probably just my imagination. One electrical brain impulse contained more thoughts than 1,000 books. I remembered something in that dream I'd left unfinished. The city. No, I had reached the city. Yulia. From the depths of my consciousness, the image of a cat girl rose. She stared at me furiously and moved her ears in a funny way. Was it not a dream? Was the week I had spent in the camp not a dream? I walked around the room, looked out the window. The outside world was the same as yesterday. I was on the verge of going insane. The silence of my flat was disturbed by the ringing of the doorbell. Who might that be at such an hour? I didn't want to open the door first. I was even afraid, but then thought that it was a good opportunity to check. Was this a dream? People in the dream and in reality are totally different. I opened the door and see. I made it to the entrance in 2 leaps. Pulled on the door handle without even looking in the peephole and... Who the fuck are you? Who is that? That one! Is that Slavia? Slavia, where the hell are you here? The girl stood in front of the door. The girls from the camp. But something had changed about them. Hair! The hair! I didn't remember every detail of their appearance in the dream. However, Slavia's hair to... Where the fuck is her hair? And Uliana seemed taller. A heavy silence hung in the air for a moment. I was petrified by thoughts frozen, feeling no fear or any other emotions. The girl seemed not to be surprised at all. Hi, Slavia said happily. Why are you standing there like a dummy? Exclaimed Juliana. How do you? I got words onto my tongue, but couldn't form a sensible question out of them. I had so many things to ask at once. Calm down, girls, you shouldn't shock a person like this. I remembered Lena at once, remembered our life after the camp. And Slavia, that conversation at the night bus stop. And Uliana, our encounter at the university. And Alisa at my concert. And even Masha in the other world. But how? Well, yeah, to cut a long story short. Alisa started to speak casually. Don't be so surprised. Do you think you were the only one? In Sovyonok? Yeah, in Sovyonok. You weren't the only one. We were there too. But how do you all together here? The point is that every one of us had their own camp. And you had yours. I mean, in ours, you behaved differently. Slavia sounded awkward. Really differently. You chased me with that cake. I barely managed to escape. It turned out that we remembered everything before you did, and understood that they were not just dreams. Wait, but how is it? Only one day has passed? No, it's gone much longer. At first I thought so too, but only I had dreams about the camp. But then people from there started to become more real. You started too. She sighed deeply. And those horrors. Seems like Lena will start crying any second now. Stop it already! I told you 1,000 times I wasn't him. It wasn't him, it was another Semyon. What does that mean, another Semyon? You see, there are many such dreams, many camps. Everyone has a personal one, and in each of them you behave in different ways. Somewhere it is like that. She looked at Lena with sadness and went on. Many of our incarnations told us about other camps and other versions of us, but we're just dolls there, playing present roles. I'm not some doll. Uliana was outraged. We got tired of that, of course. We started to look for an exit, and one time I got into Miku's world. Don't call me that! But I remember, the camp was completely different there. We were shooting a movie and... What's the difference? In any case, the dream repeated. Well, then we managed to connect the rest of the worlds into one for all 5 of us, and from there it was all in the bag. Olisa smiled, and I recognized that smile. The only thing left was to find you. To find me. Why? I certainly wasn't against it. Everything fell into place at last. Sovyonok, pioneers, the camp leader, these girls. What about Yulia? Who? Yulia, the cat girl, didn't you see her? Yeah, someone did mention something about that. How could that? I still felt somewhat guilty about leaving Yulia. That's how it is. Each of us had only one world of our own, and you had many of them. And then we understood that only you were connected with reality. How do you understand it? The pioneer told us. I mean, the you who claimed to have been in that dream for a long time. Some weirdo, probably gone completely bananas. I couldn't get everything that they were saying straight in my mind. Okay, wait. I put all my thoughts together. Then that camp was not a dream. Everything has been going on for a long time. There were many camps which had me and you, but each of you had one and I had many. No, I don't understand. That's about right. Stop sucking. You're so boring. It was a lot of fun. Follow our example. I never visited a pioneer camp. You probably hadn't either. But who was behind all this? And why? That's why we came, to find it out. But how did you find me? Suddenly I felt doubt and even fear. Juliana pinched me at once. Ouch!
Just in case you thought you were dreaming. It wasn't difficult. Your copies could certainly be talkative if they wanted to. Or if you forced them to.
Lena added quietly.
So, first we met in real life, and then we came to you.
Great.
Greet your guests.
Unbelievable. My life turned upside down in a blink of an eye. Obviously I didn't remember this dream, or dreams as girls said, in full detail, but I felt too that the camp was something bigger than that. But Julia... It brought us together, at first there and now here. Am I the only one who would actually jump back, if that was possible to get Julia? Only the question of Julia still remained. But might I know the answer? I could just forget it, just like I forgot many other things. Okay, I hope you tell me everything in detail.
Sure,
And you better get your hair back. She doesn't look like herself at all.
That's what we are here for.
Well, come in, don't stand on the doorstep. Tea, coffee, dance, I added, trying to calm down and come to myself. Lena's eye glared. Alright, we'll save the dancing for later.
And?
Every story has its beginning and its end. Every story has its canvas, synopsis, content, key moments, prologues and epilogues. We've read it before, but we have to read it again. And there is no book that reading it would not reveal new details you hadn't noticed before. But every book has a last page, and after turning it over, we put the book on the shelf. Just open a new one tomorrow. So, waiting. Okay. Harem Master 80 level. So that's it. We've finished Everlasting Summer. It was a great journey. However, the Harem end. As I said, if I were in such situations and Julia was not with us, I would freaking do everything to get into the dream back and to get Julia to that place as well. Because she was left behind. And she was probably left in that world, in that ending, which is pretty sad. Wow, all the screens appears. Hello! Thank you and goodbye. This is the end. The previous picture was better. I don't know. Slavia just doesn't work with short hair. However, I'm in general not a fan of short hair worn by girls. But well, some look good in short as well. Alright, that was Everlasting Summer by Soviet Games. Those people from Russia have done an amazing job. And they work on a new project now, from what I've read. And I'm definitely looking forward to it. Alright, hope you enjoyed it, the whole series. wait for the mods, I guess, maybe, we'll see. And well, if not that, then see you in the next game. Bye.